welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. If you're not new here, welcome back. Happy Monday. And for today's video, I'm going to do
remind me of my favorite romance booktubers.
Favorite YouTubers. And I got this idea for this video because I watched Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl. And before we start, I just wanted to say I thought it would be it's a really cool idea, and I've been wanting to do this video, but I was waiting until December. This is going to be part 1. I just like to say I'm a very shy person, and I really didn't comment on YouTube videos until the start of the pandemic, probably last year, but I have been having such a fun time doing YouTube. My goal of starting my YouTube channel was to make more friends and be more social. So what I did was I wrote the names in a hat basically, and I pulled it out. So this is going to be part 1 of my video. I have 6 people I'm going to talk about. I'm going to make part 2 either Friday or next week, but there will be a part 2 to this. But first, I want to start with Ava from Ava's Romance Books. And the book that every time I see this book, I'm reminded of Ava/Avery. I don't know which name she wants me to call her, but every time I think of these 2 books, I think of Avery specifically, and that is Ruby Dixon's Ice Planet Barbarians. And I've been watching Ava for a while now, and she loves Ruby Dixon and monster romances, and she's just a genuine person. She's very talented. She has an Etsy shop, and it's really nice talking to her on YouTube and on Instagram. She's graduating college, and I'm so happy for her. I believe she is graduating on the 16th, and I'm just so happy for her. And then she's on the mend with her. She's doing better with her chronic illness. I'm so happy about that. Like, if anyone deserves to feel better from their chronic illness, it is Avery. She is the sweetest, most nicest person you'll meet on Instagram. Probably you'll meet on BookTube. And she is so talented. She has an Etsy shop. And yeah, the book that I think of every time I think about her is Ice Planet Barbarians. And another book series that I think about when I read it is Neva Altaj's Perfectly Imperfect Duet. Not duet. Perfectly Imperfect series. The first book is Painted Scars, but every time I read these books, I think of Avery, and as I said, I'm really happy that I made a friend online, and it's just so fun talking to her online. And yeah, go follow her if you're not following her. She is just a sweetheart. And I really hope she gets to meet her favorite author, Ruby Dixon, which I know she's going to meet her in Book Bonanza, and I'm so excited for Avery. The next name I picked out of a hat is Cheyenne Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl. She recommended 2 series to me by this year. It is Heartless by Elsie Silver. Every time I think of an Elsie Silver book, or every time I pick up an Elsie Silver book, I think of Cheyenne because she's the one that recommended it to me.
Another book I think about when I think of Cheyenne when I see it is Praise by Sarah Kate,
which is also one of my favorite series this year. I first discovered Sarah Kate when Cheyenne did a author guide for Sarah Kate, and I love these series so much, and I owe it all to Cheyenne. She helped me find my 2 favorite authors this year, and Cheyenne is also such a nice person. She's always doing stuff on BookTube and Instagram to make people feel included, and she's such a nice person, and she's very cool. She gives such unique recommendations. She's just a cool person. And I love her channel, and I love her content, and I'm just so happy I made a friend, cause as I said, I'm a very shy person, but I come out of my comfort zone when I talk about romance books. So I'm really happy that I got to meet through BookTube and Instagram. I got to meet a person like Cheyenne because she's a really sweet person. She's really kind-hearted, and she's always doing her best to make people feel included. The next person I picked out from my hat is Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life. And the book that I associate with Crystal is the Rakess by Scarlett Peckham. It's a historical romance. I believe this is one of Crystal's favorite books, and it's very unique because usually when I read historical romance, it's always about the rake, and this one's about a rakess. I didn't read it yet, but it is on my list to read because I know book 2 is coming out soon. It talks about historical romances. I just find it so interesting. She's always talking about how It's one of her favorite genres, and my goal next year is to actually read more historical romance. And also, I just love how she talks about books and sweepingly epic romances and pining heroes. I love when she talks about that stuff. And also another book that reminds me of Crystal every time I see it is Restore Me by J.L. Seegers. She recommended this book to me, and it is one of my favorite books of the year. But I could listen to Crystal talk about historical romance and pining heroes for a really long time on her videos, and I wouldn't get bored because her thoughts are very interesting, and I love that she shows a picture of, I love it when she vlogs and her dog is in the videos because I love animals and her dog is so adorable. And again, Crystal is just a nice person, and I'm glad I got to talk to her on Instagram and YouTube. She's just a nice person all around, and my goal is to read more historical romance next year because I watch Crystal's channel. The other person I pulled out of the hat is Lacey from Lacey's Book Lovers. Now, I've watched Lacey for years, but I would never comment on the videos like I would like her videos. But I was never the type of person to comment on any of the videos. But the book that I associate with Lacey is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. I started reading Mariana Zapata because of Lacey. I'm gonna say this again, but Lacey is just a nice person. I love her recommendations. She's also the person that got me into Why Choose Romances with Ella Thorpe. I didn't think Why Choose Romances were my thing, but apparently I really liked Ella Thorpe's St. View Prison series. And another book I associate with Lacey is Ilona Andrews' Hidden Legacy series. I think the first book is Wildfire. I started reading Ilona Andrews because I saw Lacey's video years back when she did a video, like I think it was 2 or 4 years ago. It was one of the early days in her channel, but when she talked about Ilona Andrews and Lacey's such a nice person also. It's crazy to me. I've been watching Lacey for years, but now to actually talk to her on Instagram and Goodreads is so surreal. Yes, my love for Mariana Zapata came when I saw Lacey's recommendation video when she talked about the wall of Winnipeg and me. But Lacey is just such a sweet, nice person. I love watching her videos. The other two names I picked for this video from my hat is McKay from Oh Hey It's McKay. And the book I associate with McKay is probably the Off Balance series. The first book is called, I'll put up the picture of the first book. The first book is called Balance, and that is by Lucia Franco. And the Off Balance series is the series I associate McKay with, because she recommended this series. I was very interested when I saw her reading blog of the Off Balance series, and she made me want to read it. And I now know the obsession what all the hype is about when Kova calls Rhea Malish. I didn't get it, why that was so popular, but now I get it, because through McKay, I think everyone has this obsession with Lucia Franco now. It started with McKay's videos, and that's the series I'll always associate her with. Another book I associate McKay with is Sweet Dandelion, because McKay loves taboo romances, and I do too. And every time she recommends a book, I always add it to my TBR. And McKay is such a cool person. She's so nice, and I'm glad I got to meet her on YouTube and Instagram. She's also a talented artist, by the way. And yeah, McKay is just really cool, and I'm glad I get to talk to her on YouTube and Instagram. And the last name I picked out of the hat is Caitlin from The Love Librarian, and the book I associate with Caitlin is Next of Kin by Hannah Bottom Young. It's one of her favorite books this year, and Caitlin is such a fun person. She's so nice and so genuine, and I loved binging Elsie Silver books together with her, because we read it at the same time. We both read it because of Cheyenne's recommendation, but I think we were both reading those books at the same time. But Caitlin is such a sweetheart. She's so nice, and I just love her personality. And another book that I associate with Caitlin is Damaged Like Us, Krista and Becca Ricci. The first book in her Damaged Like Us series. Now, I read these series like when the books first came out, and I saw nobody like loving this as much as I do until I saw Caitlin's videos, and I said, hey, I found the same person who likes the same books as me, and I'm so glad that I get to talk to Caitlin about it. Her favorite couple in that series is my favorite too. It's Moffy and Farrell. It's an bodyguard romance, and I just love it. And I'm so happy that I found another person who loves Moffy and Farrell the same way I do. Because I've been reading Krista and Becca Ricci for years, but a lot of people are discovering them now. But it's nice to actually meet someone who has been a fan of theirs for as long as I have, and I'm glad I got to meet Caitlin again. She is the most kind-hearted person I know, and she's very funny. And yeah, I'm very happy I got to meet her on Instagram and YouTube. Those are all the names that I picked out of my hat. This is part 1. There will definitely be a part 2. I will link their channels down below. Please go subscribe to their channels. These are the most kind-hearted, genuine people I know on the internet and on social media. And I'm really, really glad I made friends with them, because that was my goal to starting this YouTube channel, to make new friends. And I'm glad I did that, because they are some of the most nicest people on the internet. Hope if they're watching this video, I hope they have a happy holiday. And it really means a lot to me that they talk to me on Instagram and YouTube, because as I said, I only started this YouTube videos because I wanted to make more friends. And I'm glad I did that, because I think I do now. I have a lot of friends now. So if they're watching this video, I hope they have a happy holidays. Please subscribe to my channel. That would mean so much to
this
me.
video is coming
and
soon.
Check these ladies out, because they are so cool. I'll leave their channels down below in the description.